Okay, I'm live again, guys, and we are going to give going on. I want that whole shot. I want this picture in frame because I want to show you guys exactly what I've been using for reference. And I'm going back to my original pictures of the, I know for a fact, these are screen used masks. This is the screen used mask. And the reason why I'm going back to these pictures is because the pictures I was given were not the real mask. And they were filtered. Uh, that's a fact. They were filtered pictures, no doubt about it. Okay. Let me pull up my YouTube.
The crew. Now Crew 2 officially made it to the...
I want that. All right. Later. Go to my channel. All right. That's not bad. I am definitely going back to the I know for a fact this is a screen used mask. And I don't want to use anything else. I'm done. I'm frustrated because I was sent pictures of the so-called screen used mask that was actually not a screen used mask. Um, so I'm finished with the nonsense. So I'm going back to what I originally planned on. You know what? I got to get this eye cut right. This right eye is too big. I've narrowed the eyes down a little bit better, and the bridge work on the nose, which gives it a better look. But I need another picture. Come on. I'm wondering. No, I can't use that. Too much shadowing. Definitely can't use that. Shots are too close. Anybody on tonight? Look like it. Don't look like anybody's on tonight so far. Definitely frustrated, I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, definitely frustrated. Gotta make this eye is too wide. I brought the other eye cut down a little bit. this, not down this way, but this way. I brought it in some more. And I also took away a lot of the clay that was on the top of the head there. It was just way too much. Way too much, and it was distorting the side of the profile. So, the key is, Pipe Master, yo, I ain't listening to nobody else but you from now on. I'm done. I'm done. Pissed off because the more I looked at that picture, the more I realized that was definitely not the screen used mask. And yes, you can definitely see the filters. And I'm not looking at this picture of my sculpture on the left. I'm looking at the picture here on the right side to try and get this side right. And what I'm looking for is the proper pitch of the eye cut. Right here, that's what I'm trying to go for right now. And you can see, like right in here, it's bent down. Like, you know, it's like you have to take away some of that in there, but not a lot. Oh man. You see what I'm doing here? Wait a minute, am I blocking your guys' view? Probably, of course. A chair. So let me slide that down. Right now I'm just working on this scale, this little dent. See how it goes down inside of that? And then this is sticking out too far right in here. Yeah, I changed it back, Pipe Master. I changed it back. I changed it back to what I had. Very ticked. You know, and I wasn't looking at those lips. I wasn't looking at the details. I assumed that whoever it was, was paying attention. And obviously they weren't. Or they knew that that wasn't the screen use mask. That's always a possibility. And I got to bring that in more. slant is so important. Now, what I do is, you see how it bumps it out, right? I get that slant just right, and then I'm going to cut all that out of there. Like this. I'm not worried about real refined details yet. I just have to make sure all the angles are right. Yeah, that's starting to look a lot better. See what I did here? I took away a lot of that eye cut. This is all wrong. And the scowl, these two parts on the sculpture or on the actual real mask, they come together. That's what the hell I was missing. I thought that this kind of tealed up in here, and it doesn't. They come together on the actual screen used mask. I had to fix this because what happened was when I dug out the back of this nose, Pipe Master, yeah, Asylum, we've discovered that that is definitely not the screen used mask. And if you want to really check if it's the same one, the pictures that I was sent, Pipe Master made it very aware. He made me aware that if you look at the lips are wrong on that sculpture, and it looks like it was an altered picture. It looks like it's a like there's no blood and there's no blood inside. There's no red inside the puncture wound. It wasn't the screen used mask, and I'm back to where I was because this thing started to look so deformed. Asylum, I think so. Yeah, I think it's not the video. I might be wrong. I was sent a bunch of pictures. Asylum, you're talking about the pictures, the still shots, right? Did you send me a bunch of still shots of that video where it went around the entire mannequin? Because that, from what I'm made aware of, that is definitely not. And I'll tell you right now, I know it's not the real mask because the lips are wrong. This side of the this side of the lip is higher than this side, and that's not how the real mask is. That's not how the real mask is at all. And you can definitely see the difference in the lips. The lips are definitely give it away. The lips are not accurate. Pipe Master, now you're saying that is the actual screen used mask? See, right now I'm going back to just looking at the pictures that I know came from the movie. That's this one I got up here right now. I'm looking at the profile, trying to get this eye slant right, trying to get the eye cut right. I gotta start relying a little bit on my art too, and instead of critiquing every little fiber of this thing, I gotta get the shape down first before I can really. I really like what I've done here, because in the one picture it shows you where it tucks in right in here. And what I mean by that is it tucks in right in here on the screen used mask. And I've got to get it right, man, because this is way. Okay, so how do I fix that? How do I fix that? How do I shrink it down? I know how. I have to keep how you shrink this down and keep that pitch, is you have to keep adding underneath of this eye. And keep the pitch right. Keep the pitch the same. Just keep adding a little more clay into here. We're making the eye cut smaller, because this eye is definitely too wide. This eye, I'm happy with this. This is really nice the way this looks right now. Definitely right. Oh man, I'm drinking ginger ale and it's giving me the burps. Okay, now go in here with this. Oop. Yeah, you guys are, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not the expert when it comes to knowing more about these masks that are out there and who's making them, and I'm just trying to make one myself, that's all. I'm no expert, I'm no collector, so I don't know what you guys know. I'm just trying to, I'm an artist trying to accomplish a very difficult feat here. And I definitely don't want anything thrown at me fake, because it can throw me off and it can really screw me up. So, and I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose. It could be just something that you're not aware of yourself. So, you know, and I don't mean that to offend anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody at all. I appreciate the help, I do. But we have to be careful about what's actually real and what isn't. And I know Pipe Master has a lot of connections in this business, and there's a couple. There was two. Hang on. I mean, let me see. Oh, okay. Asylum. The flashback mask on the. Well, if you look at the lips are different. I keep seeing these different, like, looks of this mask, and I think it has a lot to do with, you know, how the pictures are taken. Um, Shadowed for the different lighting. Yeah, it could be the lighting. It could be anything, man. That's like I say, when you're looking at what's here. I can't wait till Pipe Master comes and sees this physically, because looking at it under the light can change the way it looks. All I have to do is adjust the light a little bit here or there, and all of a sudden it changes the whole look of the sculpture. And that's the tough part, because if we're looking at a sculpture, and all we got to do is have the wrong lighting, and all of a sudden we make that mask based off that lighting, and then it doesn't look right when you go to cast it. You know, something doesn't look right. So what I'm trying to do is look at what I'm looking at, and try to make sense of it. And you have to look at the sculpture itself and say, okay, does that look right? Even though that it's not exactly like what you saw in a picture. Does it look right? You know, that's the hard part. That is extremely hard. Yes, now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. See, now the eye cuts look almost identical in size. But I'm going to have to look down on this to make sure that the scowl isn't like, because I noticed like some of the masks, they look like that, like the some of the people that have made the mask, looks like the scowl, like the eye cuts go in, and it makes this whole, like this area stand out more, and then this area look like it's sunk in. And that's not how the mask is. And even if I have to bump this out just a little bit more to make sure that it doesn't look like it's caving in right at the scowl. That's what it looks like to me. If it's too far out over on here, on this, on either side, it makes this look like it's getting sunk in, and it's difficult. It's a difficult thing. It really is. Yeah, it's. I mean, you can see that it has a brown wash. I'm looking at a pic. Can you guys see that picture? Hold on. Let me see what you can. Yeah, no, you can see it. Is this in frame? Just say yes. Is the sculpture in frame? Okay, good. All right, that's what I wanted to know. And I can see here that this area here has to come out a little bit more. All right, need thicker clay. You need thicker clay. See, I can see it's dipped in here, but then it kind of dips in here, and then it comes back out. So it means I got to add clay in this area. This side looks pretty good. This side looks really even, but this side's giving me a nightmare because I had to shrink the eye cut. Right now, I'm not going underneath of this because the eye cut's pretty accurate. So now I'm going to go on top of it. Still needs a little bit more there. Right in here, right there. Just a touch. The angles are so important because if the angles aren't right, man, it throws off the whole look of this mask. I really think it's important. A little bit there, just a touch. Now the scale's back to where it was before, where it looks. Now the eye cuts don't look like that. Like the center of the face is caved in. The more you do this, the more you realize what what you're seeing versus what's real on the screen. It's just tough because it's a tough, very tough sculpture. Very tough. Man, that Christopher Nelson really knew what he was doing when he did this. He knew what he was doing. And I don't know how many pictures he must have looked at to get this look. And, well, it's like anything else. Like he did the 2018. He did the, the kills, the ends. And those masks are very similar in the shape of this. The whole shape of this is they're very similar. And he did that on purpose because he didn't want it to look, I remember seeing that on like Thing with Two Heads. He said that he didn't want it to look like it was so different. He didn't want to make it look like the actual screen, the 78 completely, because he didn't want it to go away from his own, creation with the 18 and the. So he had to make them look more similar to the 18 and the kills and the ends, shape-wise, than it was, to the original mask, I think. So that's the way that is. So this is looking like this is starting to come back to where it was. That's what we want. Now I got to make sure the eye cuts are the right size. Yes, they are. They are definitely right. So yes, it does definitely. Yes, it's definitely looking better. Custom. It's funny that you said that because Christopher Nelson claims he nailed the original mask 1,000%. I don't think he nailed the original mask 1,000%. He nailed a rendition of a combination of his sculpture. Yeah, because you can see it. You can see this. You can see the resemblance. You can definitely see the resemblance in these two masks, in the sculptures, in shape. Not as much bulging in here. All right, but yeah, he didn't go too much. This is a really bad copy. The latex is rotten. Man, I don't know if anybody else has got a 2018, but the latex is all rotten out here. It's all turning hard and yellow. I don't know if you guys can see that. But man, yeah, you can see resemblance, and it's hard to use this as a reference. It's not like this isn't stuffed. This isn't stuffed or anything where make it look like the right shape. I don't have it stuffed. I don't have it, but you can definitely see the resemblance. If you look at the sculptures, they look similar. just pushing clay up underneath the eye cut. Because I don't want it to, it's overhanging a little bit right in there. I don't want it unsupported because that can get bent. One second. Oop, don't push. Push too hard. Supports that a little bit better now. Once that firms up, it'll look nicer. Yeah, that's starting to come back to shape now. That's what I'm looking for. And I gotta fix this. Because I was looking down on this and now the face got messed up here. Now it looks, all right, now it's perfect. Distance is right here. Distance is there. Same cheek height. Same cheek height. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking down to make sure that the eye cuts are all equal in the way they look. Okay. All right, now the next thing I need is a little ball. I need a little tiny piece of clay to shove in that hole. Where the hell did my other, there it is. Okay. So that's what these things are for, these little. What happened was I pushed this over and it created a little cliff here. But it made the eye cut perfect. It's like, it's right on the money. But it wasn't being supported too well. So, now that I have that like that, I go in with my knife. Pull it out. Now it's nice and pushed in and squared off nice. Yeah, I had to bring it back. Pipe Master agrees, I think. And this was too far going too far out of the realm of where I was. And where I was happy. And started messing with it too much. But now I got a bunch of. Yeah, see, that's what caused that dent in here. Was this scowl kind of, this bump kind of comes together right in here. That comes together, and I'm still going to get that right. It's an illusion of a dent. It's not really a dent. It's just that the scowl comes together and it comes a little bit of a point right in here. It's a little stuck. It sticks out just a little bit in that area. And I want to add a little clay to that area, but not much, as it comes together. All I'm doing is creating just a little bit of a lump there, nothing significantly. All right, now we push this in. Really fan this out. We don't want it to be so dominant and so sticking out in your face. You can't, it'll be so subtle. You'd only see it with proper lighting. The scale here is just too rigid there. Actually, I'm wrong. Okay. Oh man. Those burps are deadly. Yeah, that looks pretty good, man. I'm looking at right down the profile here. That's really looking good. It looks good. Sorry, blocking your view. Blocking your view. Yeah, the hairline is, part of the illusion of the bump. I know that. All right, but that's because this forehead comes out a little further than back alongside of this. So we have to make sure the scale lines are there. Now that scale, you can barely see it, but there's just a tiny little bump right in here. And then it comes back up into the head. And that's how the original was too. This one here I'm going to bring down a little bit because it's not really there. And I still got this ridge of a bump that goes in here. Bump that's right on the cheek here. That's still got to be done. There's things that still have to be done here. It's, it is what it is. Subtleties are key. Let's be very subtle. I'm going to read your comments in 1 second, guys. I'm trying to concentrate on the shape here. The rest is going to be smoothing. Add and then you take away. That's the process. Make that bump more subtle right there. All right, comment time. And I just wish there was a better way. I wish somebody was here with me all the time, reading the comments, so I can answer them as I'm talking. That'd be the best way to do this. Have like somebody with me, just talking to you guys and reading the comments, and while I work. See, it's more subtle. That's much better. It's more subtle. Now, when it comes to really refining the actual shape of the scowl, I'm gonna, pull in different pictures, that's for sure. Cause that's a little better. Believe it or not, that looks a lot better. You'll see in a minute. I had to make the scowl more subtle, but not too much, not too subtle to the point where you can't see that it's a scowl. So that's key. Now it's still got to cut. It's got to be cut back still. There's still quite a bit there. But it's got to be cut back. But what I'm trying to do is get these ridge marks here. That's what I'm aiming for right now. And I don't want to distort the little ridge, that bump there, too much. This left eye is driving me batshit nuts because it still looks too big. It looks, from here to here, it looks too wide. This looks shorter. Just gonna keep working at it until I get it right. I just cut too much off is what I did. I cut too much off of there. I'm doing some pancaking some clay here. And I'll fold that over. Now back to where it's supposed to be. I don't know why it's doing that to me, but it's doing it. Hold on. And I see that messed up the angle there. Okay, I know how to fix that. That is the issue. Okay, so what's happening here? If you can't see that, see it's going across and then there's this bump there. We don't want that. So we have to fill in just a little bit in here. We want the angle to stay the same. scared me. It's my wife's phone. Okay. Now we're back to this again. Get the angle right. Push it out. And take away. Get the majority of that out. Now, am I getting closer to where I want to be? Almost. Gotta pull it in tighter, that's all. I'll read your comments in a second here, guys. Holy mackerel, who's writing a book over here? Hold on, let me get a chance here. Get caught up. Is that you, Pipe Master? Hold on. Drop my glasses down and I gotta grab my mouse. I gotta scroll up and read all your comments, guys. Grab my mouse. We will get this bad boy where it needs to be. Yes, we will. Okay. All right, Pipe Master, yo, customer sent you a link on Messenger. Are you talking about the, yeah, okay, Pipe Master, it's the screen use mask, it's just painted different. Yes, it is, just painted differently. Lighting, flashback mask on the mannequin is the stunt mask, not the hero. That's why the hole on the neck does not have blood. Okay, it's not bloody. Christopher Nelson did confirm that the mask is life-size mannequin. Mannequin screen use mask. Okay. That's because of the angle. Okay, Pipe Master, that's because it was painted for certain lighting. Okay. So you guys are really up on this. I'm not up on what's going on. So hang on, give me a second. Flashback. You want to follow the hero mask. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do, but where is the hero mask? Which is the hero mask? I can see the difference. You can see the differences in them, but you have to really pay attention closely, you know, from one to the other. Some of the eye cuts are looking better. Yes, they are. It's funny that you said that because Christopher Nelson claims he mailed the original mask 1,000%. I don't think I'm not gonna get into that again. And that sucks because Halloween 2018 mask copy is the original run. Copies these days are crap, lack of detail, profile flat. Pipe Master, I know I shouldn't have messed with the sculpt. I should not have messed with the sculpture at all. I had it really where it was at, and I needed to. I am not going to move again. Once I get it back to where it was, it's going to stay there. I am not budging from that because it's obvious that it's not. It's getting there. Now this side it is. I mean, I think it's perfect. I do. I think it's really. This is the shape. It comes down. It tucks in. It looks really good. This side I'm battling with right now. Until I get this right. I'll get it. And I can see where the problem is. It's sticking out just a little too far in here. Like I said, you really can't tell what this thing looks like until you're in person. This is a clay sculpt. It's not a perfect piece yet, not at all. Just got to keep working it until I get it there, man. Not gonna be happy till I'm happy. Yeah, now that looks a lot better. Difficult, but doable. All right, that's looking a lot better. I had to push this in here. That's the key. But you also have to make sure. Yeah, that's in respectable territory there. Really? Come on, man. Clay got too soft right here because of my hands being so warm. Out in the sun again today. Out in the sun every damn day. Working on the pool. Doing things. Staying busy. Don't have time to get old. Don't have time to get old. Age is a number. It's all about how you feel. And I got, I didn't tell you guys, I went to my 3-month evaluation today with the doctor. And everything is perfect. He told me I can get back on the treadmill and start exercising, and I'm going to start that first thing tomorrow. Definitely going to keep pushing with my exercises and keep getting into, I want to get into good shape. And he did tell me that whenever you get an ablation done, your heart rate will always naturally go, it'll get more elevated than normal people. I didn't know that, but with exercise, I can lower that heart rate issue. I just have to be careful, that's all. Take it slow, just like I do with everything else. All right, now I'm smoothing out because I actually like the way this is looking. I like the way that looks. I don't want to mess with it. Don't want to mess with that. Let's start smoothing this out and see what we can come up with here. Now, when I put that bulge in here, don't forget, I'm taking it down. All right, let me read these comments again because I think I got away from it. That sucks. Okay, detail profile is flat. Oh, wait a minute. Because the Halloween 2018. Okay, flat. Man, you shouldn't have messed with the sculpt. I know, Pipe Master. I agree with you. It was coming together. Just needed some tweaks, and the eyebrows adjusted because they were off. Adjusted because they were off with shadow spacing. Asylum, believe it or not, I was very happy with where it was, and I don't think I needed to do too much more to it. I do agree with Pipe Master with this because, I mean, once I started really altering that again, it just completely destroyed where I was at, and I am not going to do it again. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to keep adjusting this. I'm going to get it back to where it was, and it's going to stay that way because it was so close. It was very close. And let's see, the thing that's nice about this is like muscle memory. I know exactly where it was, and I'll get it back to where it was. With a little bit of improvements, believe it or not. The scale's going to look a little better. The eyebrows I'll do last. I'm not putting them back on this head. That's where I started screwing up. Putting them eyebrows on when I wasn't ready for it yet. I'll put the eyebrows on and the ears on dead last. Dead last. That is the last port. That's the last because it's all about position with those, and if your sculpture isn't quite right, isn't there yet, and you start putting the eyebrows on, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You have to get the sculpture in the right perspective first. You cannot start adding the things that are finishing touches when you're not ready for it. One good lesson I learned out of it, that's for sure. I won't do it again. The mistake won't be made again. Eyebrows will be dead last. So will the ears. I'm smoothing right now, that's all I'm doing. Just getting all these. And you'll see these little pockets. Getting all the little trowel marks out of the sculpture. And where there's a deep pocket, I just put a little clay in there, that's all. And what I'm going to do right there, I'm going to warm up a piece of clay, but not much. Can't sculpt from mask. I agree with you, Pipe Master. I would love to follow the sculpture if I can get a good picture of the sculpture. The problem with the sculpture, they're taking the picture in such a way where it's deforming the actual shape of the face. And that is the problem. Every picture that I have of that sculpture, it's either shot too far away where I can't zoom in because it's all pixelated, or the image is distorted because of the way they took the picture on purpose to keep you from getting an accurate look of the sculpture. They don't want you to see the exact shape of that head. They don't want you to. They definitely don't want you to see that. And you can tell by the way they took the picture. They took the camera and got it really close, so it distorted the face. It's at least the pictures that I have. I need pictures that are far away, and then I can zoom in on it. But they can't be so pixelated that you can't, they're so blurry you can't see details. That is the problem. The pictures that I do have of the sculpt are pretty far away, and they're so pixelated I can't see any of the real good details. So it's a difficult thing, man. It really is. It's nice and soft now. I'm just trying to fill this little area here. There we go. I didn't really do anything to it other than I'll get it right though. We'll get it back to where it was. Pipe Master, if you got pictures that I can go off of that are very clear, I need picture. And from all angles. I can't just use like one angle. That's one of the hard parts too, is not getting enough angles. the reason why I'm able to get this eye cut so perfect is because of multiple pictures that I've looked at. On that side, this side looks amazing. This side's a little difficult because I'm lacking some of the pictures that I really need to hone in on it. See, trying to get a lot of the trowel marks out of it. And the rest, naphtha will take out. Naphtha will take out 90% of it. Yeah, see, that's starting to see how that comes together, and there's a little bit of a lump there, and it's all even. That's what we're trying to get. I want this bump a little bit more subtle. Trying to look at this like from that angle, see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. Man, I got a lot of work to do to this thing yet. A lot of work. I got the whole neckline, ears. I got the cheeks got to be done right. All right, so there's still some clay that has to be put in here because there's a lot of little tiny worms of clay. That's all though. Just to fill the little cracks. This is the final. This is where you're smoothing out. You're trying to really get the fine details. What I'm doing there is now I'm taking out some of the little bit of ridges and then the tougher areas where you can't really get inside of it with a tool, causing major trowel marks. So you smooth it out with your hand. That was really soft. I got to be careful there. Area right in here that looks flat. Not enough clay there. What's going on right there? Something's bothering me there. Okay. Too much of a dent right there. Too much of a dent. I'll live though, Pipe Master. We'll get this right. We'll get it right. Just taking a little extra time is all. Little time is all it's taking. Let's see what we can do here. I never sweat the small stuff. This is a difficult sculpture. I will say that. This is definitely... See, the Night Creeper, it's a rendition of a couple different masks. So it wasn't an exact replica of somebody else's work. And when you're not exact, you know, but you're creating your own version of the sculpture. If everybody was exact, what would be the point? We can buy it from one person and that would be the end of it. And if we go to the highest, you know, the cheapest one, everybody would go to the cheapest one available. I mean, if I want an exact copy, all I gotta do is go get a 3D scanner. You know, 3D scanner, and you can scan pictures. That's what's scary about that. You can scan pictures of this mask, and as long as you have the complete all the way around it, like that one that you guys sent me, I can have that 3D scanned and then 3D printed and make an exact replica of that mask and not even put art into it. You know, it takes the artist out of the fray. I hate that this is going on, but it's the reality of technology. You know, I mean, I take no pride. I would never take any pride in doing something like that, to, you know, stealing somebody's sculpture, somebody's work. You know, want to do that? Great, go for it. You know, you're not getting an artist's work. You're getting I guess you are getting an artist's work because you're getting Christopher Nelson's exact mask. I think that's probably why some artists have kind of like taken a back seat to doing this now, because they can see people that are actually doing 3D scans and stealing the work. Yeah, that makes sense. I gotta fill that void right in there. That cheek is not bulging out enough right in here. Gotta round it a little bit. Okay. Let me get to it from another angle. See, when I started working on this, this had nothing to do with anybody. What happened was I started working on this nose and digging around here. And this area here kind of got dug out a little bit. And when I look down the mask, when I'm looking straight down like this, I can see that this side was sticking out further than this side, right in here. And also the cheek lines weren't equal. I had them perfect, but I had to mess with it. Don't want to mess with things when they're perfect. The key is really lining this up. Yeah, that's going to come together nicely. But I still want to put a little bit more of a bulge right in here. Not much, just a tiny one. Very, very subtle. I'm talking about a piece of clay like that. Because this shadow's too dominant and this one's not. Amazing what one little tiny piece of clay will do. We are getting there, guys. Holy mackerel, I didn't see all that. Okay, hold on, let me go back. All right, holy mackerel, I didn't know that all this texting was going on. Okay, Asylum, but it's from the same mold, just painted differently. Exactly. It's painted to the point you can't see the actual details. You need to sculpt. If he would have changed the lips to look like those, it would have really screwed him up. I always told him to use the sculpture packs. Take off vision. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I want to use a sculpture, but I keep telling you guys, I have not gotten good pictures of the sculpt. There's not a lot of them out there. If there are, I don't have them. I cut. We're working on. Giving you Pipe Master, you did send. I'm trying to see now. I gotta find. I'm reading and I'm not reading out loud. I should be reading out loud. All right, hold on. Pipe Master, I've seen you. Pipe Master sent me plenty of pics. I know. I gotta find them though. I gotta look. Oh, damn it! It's frustrating because I'm running off my phone, then my phone, then I upload it to my computer, and there was a couple that were sent to me that they were pixelated really bad. I remember that, Pipe Master. The ones that you sent me, the clay sculpture. When I zoomed in, they were so pixelated I couldn't even see the details in the mask. And I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about on here because I'm getting away from this picture anyway. Here, let me just show you the one picture. It was from a far away. It was far away, but it was so damn pixelated. I couldn't see the details. Let me see if I can pull it up. Was it this one? Now, here's a perfect example. Because of all the shadowing in that picture, I can't see any of the details in the eye cuts. I can't see anything. I can't see the right eye. In other words, in that sculpture, I can't see anything over here at all. You know, how am I supposed to work with? I can't do any. I can't even see the cheek line over here. I can't see anything on this side of the face. I can't see thing. Well, I can see this. There's a little bump right here, which that's not a big deal. I can see this. This looks very rough. It looks like it was on. That was at that point. It's not finished. You can see that. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, though. You know, and if you now if that's the actual sculpture, notice this. See how much higher the lip is in that sculpture, the point. But yet I've seen the mask on multiple different things, and it didn't look like that. Like this lip on this side, on that sculpture looks huge. Right there, looks huge. This is what's so damn frustrating. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, this isn't the pixelated one, but there was a couple of them that were really pixelated. Here's one. That's basically the same thing. Still can't see the details. And look how how much higher this lip is right here. Something's not jiving here. That's what doesn't make sense. Yeah, okay. You look at that high point on that lip, right? Now, this other clay sculpture is supposed to be identical to it. How come it's not high on that one? How come? If that's supposed to be the actual sculpture, how come the lip's different? Maybe it's the angle, and it is a little higher on the right side. It is a little tiny higher, but it still looks a lot different on that other angle. And like I said, they took that picture very close. So the face looks very narrow, and I don't want to sculpt off of that. It looks too narrow. So you tell me, what is it? What do I do here? This is frustrating. I think I hate to say it, but until I get better clay pictures, the pictures of the mask painted are my only option because they're far enough away. But you got to make sure it's the sculpture mask. Like, all right, you look how narrow that face looks, right? Now I'm going to take you up. You tell me what's wrong with this. You tell me. All right. Why does that look so different? That's the screen used mask. Let me see what you guys can see. Why does that look so different? Look how narrow the clay sculpture is compared to the actual mask at a distance. See the problem? See the problem? And it looks like the camera angle was looking upward on that face. Cannot sculpt from that. I can't sculpt from that. It does not give me enough. I have to see it dead on. You have to see it dead on. You really do. You know, that is as far as I'm concerned, they're two different masks. Two different looks altogether. Look how high look how high and narrow the points of the lips are. I have this almost the exact same size. Look how smaller the eye cuts look. Now let me try and blow this up just a little bit more. No, it's too big. Well, no it ain't. That's about the same size now. Almost. But they look way different. Now, I'm not talking about paint either. I'm talking about the sculpture itself. It looks much wider, the face. The face looks much wider, and it's because of the way they took the picture. They purposely took that picture like that so you cannot get a really good judgment on the actual size of the sculpture itself. It was calculated picture, and they made sure that the picture, the camera, was on an angle like this, looking upward onto that face. How you can tell is the way the forehead looks like it's slanting back too far. It's like the head's leaning back. And look how narrow that head is. It's almost coming to a point compared to the other one. So different. Like I said, these pictures are so different. It's almost like you have to pick your poison to see exactly what your sculpture is going to be. You have to pick your poison. That's it. You know, that's what I'm coming away with. Is this whole thing is like, do I sculpt it based off the mask? Do I sculpt it off of that narrow looking, ugly? I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not saying that that's not the sculpture. It could be. It's just the way they took the picture to make it distorted. Is there another picture? Do you guys have better pictures that you can send me? Because these aren't cutting it. This is not going to do it. Not for a sculptor. It's not. You cannot. I've got to get true sizes. Now there was another one. Like, for instance, let me try and. Now this is looking downward. That's almost the same size. But you can see how much wider that head is. You can actually, that's sitting on the desk right next to Christopher Nelson at one of the conventions. That's the screen used mask. Probably the best detail that I can find. It gives away the lips perfectly, but at this angle you can't tell how high this really is. So it could very well be that. That's true. I'm not saying that this isn't the sculpture. I'm only saying, once again, it's because of the way they took the picture to make sure that you, as a sculptor, couldn't copy or get a real good look for the sculpture. I think a fan took a picture of this from a distance. He took a picture of that, 6, 8 feet away, and got the true shape and the size of it, and what it looks like. Mask will never look bigger than it actually is. It will always look its natural size at a distance. If the shot's taken from a distance, it'll show its natural size. The minute you get too close to a sculpture or get too close to a mask and take a picture, that's when it gets distorted. So, it's calculated. I gotta read I'm gonna read all your comments now. I'm done ranting. I'm done ranting because I'm frustrated with this. I really am. I'm super frustrated. I'm definitely not going off of that clay sculpture, that's for sure. All right, let me get back in my chair and then just read comments, because right now I'm just worried about trying to get this sculpture back to where it was. I'm not worried about changing anything. Don't even suggest it, because I'm not changing anything. I'm bringing it back to where it was, and that's the end of that. I'm just super frustrated because it's such a hard task And the minute you start screwing with the slight, I make a little adjustment here, a little adjustment there, all of a sudden you got to change everything else too, because it changes the pitches, it changes the angles. I'm going to stick with what I can see in front of me in 3-dimensional versus people that can see it in 2-dimensional. And it's just like when Pipe Master came over and saw the other sculpture, then he was like, oh, okay. Now yeah, you can see the differences. You can definitely see that there's a big difference when it's in front of you versus in 2 dimensions. 2-dimensional pictures just don't cut it. They definitely don't work. So I'm not even going off pictures right now. Right now I'm just worried about smoothing out. Let's just get it smoother. Let's just get some of this lumpy stuff out of here. Yeah, man, it's frustrating. This is really frustrating. But you know what? I'm gonna read the comments right now. I'm gonna get caught up on comments. Asylum. Asylum, you didn't mess up the sculpture. I just think that what happens is, you know, if you're not here and you're not seeing this in 3-dimensional, it changes your whole perspective. You have to see these things in 3D. You cannot, like if you have the mask in front of you, it changes. It really does change. Now, right now, I'm seeing all the shine on the sculpture. That's going to go away in a minute. But yeah, you know, I'm not too worried about. I'll get it back. No kidding, I will. Pipe Master saying I'll get it back. Yes, I will. Asylum. I sent him those video pics too. I mean, it's the hero sculpt. Takeoff Vision. Did you wait a minute? Did you send them through my email or did you send those pics through Messenger? How did you send them? Silent Beyond, Takeoff, Killer, agreed. The eye cuts are better. Pipe Master, eye cuts are for sure better. He brought them up from the bottom. Yes, that's right. Me and Pipe Master talked about that. The forehead looked way too big, so I had to bring the eye cuts up the top. So much better, and it changed the entire face. It definitely worked. All right, so I left the eye cuts. It's still too long. I see the left eye cut. This one here. Yeah, I'm still. It's actually on the money now. They're identical. I can see that. I just think that they look a little. I'm just looking at the bulge in here. It's a little too high out, and that's why it doesn't look quite right. Bring that bulge down. It's subtle. You got to be careful on how much you take away. very difficult. This is not an easy thing to do, guys. It really isn't. You're trying to replicate somebody's work and you're working off of two-dimensional pictures. You're having the same struggles looking at my work and critiquing me as I have when I'm actually looking at pictures and trying to sculpt it. You're having the same problems I'm having. We're both equal on that same plateau, only I'm physically actually working. So when you say this is too round or this is too short, this is not long enough, it could be perspective, it could be the lighting, it could be anything, but when you're in front of this thing, believe me, I have the eye cuts. I can tell you right now, if I get my caliper, they're identical. My eyes aren't that far off, I can tell that. But I'm still feeling like these are sunk in too far still. Almost like the center of the ridge of the nose is going inward too much. I got to pull that out a little more. I got to bring some clay. I got to put some clay in here some more, just to pull out that center. I got to pull this out just a little bit more. Identical, identical. Identical. Now what I'm doing is I'm lining it up with my eye, looking straight into this corner. I can't get this into the corner, but I can get close and I can see it. But I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Same depth. They're identical. Identical in size. Now they're a little differently shaped. And that gives you the illusion that it's longer, and I'll tell you why. This dips down further here, all right? This is more flat going across. That's going to make it look more elongated than this eye. This eye looks a little bit wider than this eye. And it gives you the illusion that it's longer. But that's also because you're seeing it in two dimensions. It's really hard to critique this thing, it really is. Hard to get it right. Now that looks right. Now I'm looking at this from an angle this way, and I remember seeing the other pictures, and I can see that this is now coming into really nice shape there. All right, let's read on. Let's read on. I think this is sticking out too far, just a little too far. I'm trying to make it so it's dead even with this one. But you guys can read all these comments too, so I don't have to read them out loud. I'm going to read them because I have a bad habit of reading silently. Mr. Braxton, yes, I will try to. I'm probably going to do the Halloween 2018, the kills and the ends, but I'm going to use this sculpture as my base sculpt because that is the closest to those masks. My Night Creeper, I can make an aged look to it. I can do that with the Night Creeper as well. It's nothing but adding cracks. I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to add the details to it, to my Night Creeper. That'll be fun to do, and I might even do a concept mask. You know, depending on how I feel. I'm getting bored with this. I'm getting frustrated and bored, so it's almost like it's a. Let me try something here. I want to see something. Yeah, it's still coming out too far. I can tell by the way I look down on it. this is still coming out too far. Alright, so. Let me keep. Gotta keep honing that down until I get it to where I want it. That's it. Let's take a look now. All I can look at it is I have to look at it from here. A little dip right there. Right in here I gotta fix. Perfect. Put this little dip in here and fix this. Alright, that's better. Yeah, whenever you start making little changes, man, it can really screw you up big time. It can really screw you up. Alright, now let me try and sculpt this out. Get this little ridge in here better. Get this cheek line in place. And then we're going to put some knots on it. Smooth out in here a little bit more too. I gotta do this right. I can't do this on an angle. Bigger scoop. piece of rock in there or something that's driving me nuts. This is fun. Everybody here should try and do this, just to show you where I'm at and why it's so frustrating. Everybody should try this once in their life. Some of you probably have. I'm not talking about just sculpting anything. I'm talking about replicating something. Might as well try and get some of this chin area too straightened out. Taking up the lines, anything that's sticking out or bulging out, like a little imperfection here or there. What the hell is that? Piece of something in there, it's driving me nuts. So when stuff gets in your clay, it grabs, keeps you from being able to smooth it. Doing the bigger areas, you want to move in circular motions to read some comments. Asylum, it would have been easier if you had a 3D sculpture of the flashback mask that Christopher Nelson has. Okay, take off. Yeah, Felix. You know what it is? I'm so used to seeing the takeoff vision, Felix. I've been getting hit with a lot of uh, job. Jolo. I think that's okay. Jolo, do me a favor. Put your caps lock on. I can't read that text being that small. Recently came across your channel, and I gotta say, motivated me into trying to craft one of these. I'm starting out with a, what's that say? A torn mask? I don't know what that says. Made from latex and paper towel. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah, you can use, I would use the blue towel. If you're trying to repair a latex mask, use the blue towels. Don't use regular paper towels. Blue towels got like a fiber in it, and they're stronger, and they'll absorb that latex, and it'll be a nice. You can repair your latex mask with a blue. Use blue towel and mask latex. Do not buy the latex that's at Spirit of Halloween or anything like that, because that latex is too thin. You need mask latex. Casting, it's either called casting latex or mask latex. So do not use, and I'm talking to Jojo or Jolo. I'm not sure what that is. I can't tell because the print's too small. Anyway, yeah, make sure that it's casting latex, and you can repair any of yours. Like any of you guys, you got a mask that you want to repair, you take strips, like say you got a tear on your mask here, like right on the top of the head. All right, so how would I approach? Well, Michael Myers would be tough because I would do it from the inside. You'd have to do it from the outside too. You would have to do it from the outside, but see, you would have that texture laying there because Michael Myers is a very smooth mask. But when you're dealing with like monster masks and stuff that have a lot of texture, a lot of wrinkles, a lot of everything in it, you can get away with it. You just take a piece of that, you put some latex on the mask. You're going to have to repaint it, no doubt. You put some latex on the mask. After you clean it well, prepare the surface with some naphtha. The area that's torn, prepare it with naphtha. Let it dry, completely dry. Make sure it's well dry, because naphtha can distort the latex, but it'll come back to normal shape. All right, so let it dry thoroughly. It'll come back to normal shape. Then take a little bit of latex in the area, paint it on there, and then take your blue towel, slap it on there, and then put the latex over top of the blue towel, and it'll repair your mask. You can repair the masks. Now, I wouldn't go too thick because then you're going to take away detail, what's ever in the mask. All you're trying to do is repair the tear. So, let me go back to reading some more because I'm kind of like, alright, I gotta fix this right in here. There's a little bit of a bump there that's driving me nuts on the inside. I'm gonna use my scooper, my hooped. Yeah, that's much better. That's much better. That's now sticking out the right distance. The scale's at the right depth. Let me see. Now see how this is out. This is out here, and it looks, it's right, but it looks like it's going down inward. The reason why it looks like it's going down inward so much is because this bridge of this nose has to come out just a little bit further. Has to come out just a little bit further to take your eye away from the indentation there. So we'll do that a little at a time here. Gotta do a little bit at a time here with this. I don't want to do too much. I'd even have to change that wrinkle, but that's okay. I'm going right on the center. That's not on the center. See what that's doing already? That is definitely helping the situation. Yep, I'm gonna have to do the wrinkle again, but that's all right. I think I took too much of that nose away, and that's what made it, didn't look right. Put it on this side. I sneak into this. I definitely don't want to put too much clay on there. I'm not trying to make the nose stick out like a lump. I'm just trying to make it come out just a little bit further, that's all. Just to take your eye away from that indentation look. Yeah, that's much, much better. Holy shit. That's definitely doing the trick. That is definitely doing the trick. And I'll have to do the I'll have to smooth it out a little bit, that's all. Just that little bit made a difference. Kind of thought I took too much clay away from that nose. that's better. That's better. We're still not perfect yet, but we're getting closer. Let me read some comments. I still haven't scrolled all the way down to the pad. We also have to get that night creeper in the mold. Yes, we do. We definitely. I decided, and this is what's kind of tying me up. I decided to take off the rest of the summer because I'm going to work a lot this coming winter, and that kind of tightens my belt with my funds. So maybe I should start a GoFundMe now. No, I don't have 500 hours to lay out for silicone, and I definitely don't want to do it with a mold, because if I destroy that thing now, as good as it looks, I'm done. It'll ruin. I gotta make the silicone mold first. That's a must. It has to be done. Yes, we're going to get this. I mean, that night creeper, JoJo. I think it's JoJo, right? Yeah, I think I'm. No problem, JoJo. I mean, that's that's really. I enjoy doing that for people as much as I can. I mean, I'm no expert guy. I'm okay. I'm learning, and I learned from people like Alan Hops, who's in the haunt business, and he's in the haunt business. But if you want to watch somebody really cool, look up Stilt Beast Studios, and he really knows a lot of secrets on how to repair things, how to make things cheap, how to really. That's how I learned that, the Blue Tao. It was all on his channel. You know, I always throw people that I've learned from. I always put their name out there because I you know. Do you guys want to see the Night Creeper as it sits? Especially you, now that you're here, JoJo. You haven't seen this yet. I'll show you the Night Creeper. Yeah, I'm going to keep working on this guy. We're going to get this Night Creeper. This is going to be. That is the Night Creeper. JoJo, that's the Night Creeper. That everybody's they want that Night Creeper, not the mask. That's an old copy of my. This was the mask that I did before I turned it to this. But this is the Night Creeper. It's Custom Corpses Night Creeper 78. The reason why it looks like it's slanted is because, hold on. It's because the neckline has a natural pitch like this one does. See how that neckline's pitched? Well, it's sitting on a level surface, so it makes it look like the head's looking upward. But it doesn't. We get that out of the way. And now you guys can see the Night Creeper. And here's my logo. Custom Corpses, Night Creeper 78. As soon as I get my silicone to make my master copy of this bad boy,
And that's actually William Shatner's life cast right next to it. Now it doesn't look exactly like that, not by far, because that's a very small life cast, by the way, very tiny. But that's actually William Shatner's life cast in stone. I used some of it for concept, especially the scowl, this area here. And I'll show you if I can, because you can't really see it with this. The lighting is terrible. If you look at that scowl, see how evil that scowl looks? That's the actual life cast of William Shatner. That scowl of mine is a replication of that scowl, and it really does give it attitude. So this Night Creeper is going to be really nice. This won't have any seam lines. This is a hollow casting that I did in a silicone master. See that silicone? That's a silicone master. Now, this was the original Night Creeper silicone master, and I altered it to make it look like this. And now I'm going to silicone this. So this is a hollow casting, and you slush cast it inside your silicone, and then then I'll stone cast this as a one piece. Down on the floor here, there's a stone cast. That's a one solid piece, not a two-piece sculpt, not a two-piece stone mold. That's what I'm going to do to this. It's going to be one solid piece of stone over this after I silicone it, so I have my master. Then what I'll do is I'll stone this, because the silicone slips right off of this. It won't even damage it, not the slightest bit. So then I'll make a stone copy of this, and then I'll make masks out of that. Then I'll have my silicone master copy for any kind of slush casting I want to do. I can make a resin copy of it. I can shrink down. I can make another latex copy from the mold. All right, I got to go back to the TV and see what you're texting, but that's the Night Creeper. That's got a look to it. Trust me, and it looks amazing when you see it in person. The paint job and hair job. Like I overhauled a '78 Tots. I'll show it to you real quick. Up there on top. The hair, that's custom hair. I completely took the hair off of it. Let me just pull it down because you can't see it from that far up. All right, this is the Night Creeper overhaul of the Tots 78. And here's the hair. The hair is pretty awesome. The hair I got on here is, let me back out so you can see. I got to zoom out. It's got the tangled look. It's got, it's got the grays, the little gray fibers in there and everything. You can see it all. I mean, if you're really into detail, this is a nice Pipe Master. Thank you for joining me. I can't wait. You're coming down next weekend, right? Before you take off? You're coming down next weekend? I can't wait for you to see it in person and critique it better. It's better if you see it. Sweet. Let me zoom back in a little bit. Damn it. I got to read your comment. Let me read your comment there, Pipe Master. I couldn't see it on the phone. Yeah.
I'll get this bad boy back to where it was. Funny, tan all up in the front of me, but I don't have no tan on the back of it. 'Cause I'm pretty much. Ah, shit, that sucks. You can't come down. I might have to. I can't take it up there. It's impossible because I'm afraid with the heat and everything, this will start melting the clay. I don't want to take it up to you. Damn. How many molds have I done? Well, give me a call, Pipe Master. Give me a call tomorrow if you're still on there. How many molds have I done? Hold on, let me go back up. Bo Norton, that Night Creeper is badass. Yes, it is. That is badass. I think it is too, and it took a long time to get to that point. It really is a nice mask. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be sought out. I do. I think it's going to be one of those masks. It's a unique piece. It looks amazing. I think people are going to want that mask. I do. But look, I'm not the expert. You guys are the collectors. You guys tell me. Do you think that Night Creeper is going to be a sold out piece? You know, hopefully it is. You know, because the goal here. I'm 62 years old. I'm not trying to get rich. I am trying to make a living at this in retirement. I thought about the YouTube thing and doing that, and trying to monetize. And YouTube, if you don't edit your videos and you don't really spend a lot of time in detailing your, it's all about how good you produce videos. It's not about your content, and that's not what I am. I'm not a video editor. I'm not a video filmographer. I'm not any of that. I'm a sculptor. This is what I'm doing. I'm sharing my knowledge as I learn myself, and I am trying to, help people at the same time. Can I make money on YouTube doing that? As long as that's all I have to do. Do I want to go into editing and all that time consumption of making these really cool videos and everything? That's not what this channel is. This channel's about joining me. I'm live. Sometimes if you can't join me live, you don't catch me live, you can watch the videos. They're up. Some of them are 4 hours long. I know I'm not that entertaining, but you can scan through it and, get to the parts where you think that, wow, how did he do that? You kind of look through it and you go, oh, what did he do there? I'm not here to try to make money on YouTube. So you don't have to worry about, I like the likes. I like the, they like that. YouTube likes it. It's just that I'm not really focused on YouTube. I want to get into mask making. I want to make masks for a living. As I retire, I'm going to be doing scarecrow masks. I'm slow. Jojo, I wouldn't want to work for an effects team because I am an artist. Yes, I get it, but I'm not one of these guys that can just slap things together real fast. And sometimes if they're on a budget and they're on a time frame, there's a lot of stress, and you really have to have a lot of experience to do that. And I don't have the experience. I've only been sculpting now for about 3 years. 3 years. And I just happened to tackle probably one of the hardest faces to actually sculpt, and that's Michael Myers. And it's it's challenging. I'll give you that. Shoot. So, but I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to monetize. I get my channel monetized. If I can make a little money, great. If I don't, who cares? More interested in selling masks and making money with the masks and share the knowledge. Why not? I'm no expert, but I have learned a lot in the process over the past 3 years of what to do and what not to do. So there's that. Um, Yep, there's a constant learning curve to this kind of thing. It really is. It's just you never are. When you think you're done, you're not done. When you think you're done, you're not done. You're definitely not done if you think you're done. That's not right there. I can't have that. There's a little crack there. And then I see something here that looks, what was I looking at? It doesn't look right in here. What the world is that? Pissing me off. It's when you have little bits of crap in your clay that really can affect your. Gotta get my little needle because it's driving me nuts. There's something right in the clay right here. And I get it, that's the question. I don't know. Yeah, I did. Okay. Now I gotta fill that little tiny piece of clay back in there. There we go. A little cutting edge here. Better. Much better. All right, let me read your comments. Home dude, horror dude. I'm sorry, horror dude. It's just your names are small print, and the big text is great. That helps me a lot. Can I work for an effects team? Asylum Beyond the Dead. Yes, I know you're a YouTuber. I just don't know. I mean, I struggle with the idea of making my channel No, I didn't hear about that, hard dude. I did not hear about the new Universal Monsters Land at Universal Studios Orlando, new theme park. I'm 62 years old though, hard dude, and I don't go to these places anymore. I'm actually struggling with the idea right now of getting tickets to, I live close to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I would like to go see William Shatner.
He's going to be at Cherry Hill Monster Mania in August, and I do want to meet him. I met him. I didn't really get to meet him, as to meet him and be able to talk. I don't know. It's hard to explain. We were at a baseball game, or was it a baseball game? No, I'm sorry. It was a horse racing. It was some sort of horse racing event. Now, this is 30 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. That's how long ago it was. And my brother was with me, Keith, and we never went to horse racing at all, never horse anything. And we were kind of at this event because of my uncle. My uncle was like into this sort of thing. So we are sitting, there, and they announced that, oh, by the way, William Shatner is in our attendance, blah, 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 blah. And my brother's sitting, he's sitting right next to me. He looks at me and goes, "Oh, cool, Captain Kirk's here." And lo and behold, we get a tap on our shoulders. All right, and here's William Shatner sitting literally right behind us, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here, boys." And it was kind of funny. It was, but we didn't really get to talk to him, and I didn't want to make a big scene. But it was interesting. It was interesting. It was and I think I was just starstruck at that point because I've been a William Shatner fan my entire life. My father and I used to sit. He used to watch Star Trek over and over and over again back in the 70s. And I used to sit with him at nighttime when it was on reruns at 11 o'clock at night. And it was New York Channel. I'm trying to remember. It was Channel 11, I believe, in New York. And they would run the show like 11 p.m. And I would hang out with them and we'd watch the show. And my mother used to raise it. She used to come down and say, what did she say? "You watching this again? You watch this guy? You guys watch this every night? It's a new episode." Or my father said, "Oh no, this is one I never saw before." Well, if you know anything about Star Trek, the original series, it was only a 3-year stretch, 3 seasons, 68, 69, 66, 67, and 68. They were the years that they did those shows. And here it was 1975, so it was well into reruns. The weird thing about Star Trek is it got more popular later on than it did actually in the time that it was out. And it was actually on TV as a, an ongoing series. So that's my little story with William Shatner. But I never got to ask him any questions. And at that age, what was I going to ask him? I didn't know nothing, and that was, I think that was probably 1979, might have been 80 when that happened. Yeah, it was 79 or 80. So at that point, I didn't even know that it was a William Shatner mask that they used for Halloween. Nobody knew nothing about it. There was no extras in a video. You didn't even have video back then. Actually, 79 was the very first beta. I think it was beta and VHS. They had home recorders. But everything was on beta and VHS. And you didn't have extras and all that stuff that we get today in films. You didn't know nothing about how they made the movies. And so feel blessed, you young guys out there, because you really don't know how cool it is versus how it was. Now, on the other side of that coin, us older generation, we do have we have great imagination. A lot of our abilities come from our imagination. And it's because we didn't have all this games that you guys have, and you don't have to use your imagination. You just, everything's there. It looks real. Everything looks cool. You don't need to. I mean, when we played video games, Chris, we had, I think, in television. What was some of the? Well,
it started out with like Pong in the 70s. It was Pong, and that was just this black and white monitor TV, and it just bling, 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 and you played Pong. As the 80s kicked in, we started getting like Activision and Television, Atari, and all these. But even those, if you look at some of those Atari games, man, what a joke, compared to what's out there now. It's nuts. It's almost realism now. The way things are now, it's crazy. So I'm just trying to fix this neckline. It's a little too distorted, but I'm not worried about it right now too much. I gotta get this face done a little better. Have I thought about making a Star Trek mask? I was actually thinking about making a bust with William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and DeForest Kelley, Captain Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy, in case you don't know the real names. I was thinking about doing that, but I was like, you know what? You're not that good of an artist yet. You're not that good. To really make their faces identical on a bust would be really difficult. I just think that that's out of my league. I'm not that good. And I don't know if I want to dedicate that kind of time. But I also thought about making a Spock mask and making him look like a Michael Myers, just to see how that would look. Now, Spock's actually easier to sculpt. His features are very, very dominant and very, they're not subtle. Hard dude, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to tackle. I don't, you know what it is? I don't want to dedicate so much time. I have the Night Creeper done, other than molding. The flashback is almost done. But I don't want to dedicate so much time into this. I want to start doing monster masks and stuff, original stuff. All right, that would be really cool, and I love scarecrows. Oh man, scarecrow masks are so cool. And I would like to, and I also looking into doing these foam masks, spray foam, Loctite spray foam masks. They're cool and they're really scary looking, man. They are. They're really scary looking. And make them cheap. People can buy them cheap off me, and they're not expensive. And they're creepy, man. You wear that, it's scary. Like if you do, like you want to scare some kids or something, man, that will freak you out. Those spray foam masks. Key is good paint work, good artwork. You can make a spray foam werewolf. You can make a spray foam anything. And I can make it a two-part where the jawline is separated, and I can make it so like a werewolf where you can move your jaw. Yeah. They're the kind of things I really want to get into. That'd be fun to do. That would be fun. So, yeah, I don't know, guys, but I'm getting closer to where I want to be with this. This still feels like it's bulging out a little too much over here. And this scowl has to come in, like here, into here. It can't go up this way and then separate in this area. This has to come together all in one spot, right there. And all the pitching, all the angles have to be exactly the same. All the angles. Like when you look at this angle, down, down, down. All right, this angle, up, up, up. Everything has to be almost identical. The angles are very important when you're sculpting. So, yeah, it looks very shiny right now. I'm not going to bother putting nats on this tonight because I don't feel like getting that stuff all over me right now. But I still got some work to do to this. Oh. Here's a dead-on shot of it. Now all that shine is irritating. I'm looking at that right eye. It looks like the slant's a little bit too down, too far down. I don't know. I have to look at it. I'm going to have to look at it in detail from a distance. We shall see. We've got to keep working it until we get it right. This side looks really good. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm happy with this side. I'm still not satisfied over here yet. Okay, see, I have to take down some clay right in here just to give it a little bit more of an edge, so it doesn't look like it's too rounded in here. It's got to be carved out just a little bit. But I'm not messing with it anymore tonight. I've had enough. Yeah, now see, on camera it looks different when I'm looking at it directly. I gotta bring down this scale just a touch more. Gotta bring it down a little bit. That's okay, that's nothing. It's easy work. Taking the clay away is easy. Adding it and taking too much away can be a nightmare. Okay. That's awesome. All right. Hard dude. Let me see. Have you thought about making a Star Trek mask? Yes, I did. I said, how come this is not scrolling? All right, there it goes. Takeoff vision. Yeah, I can. But the problem is I didn't, you know what? All right, you're going to make me do it. Because the shine's all on there and you can't have the shine. I hate doing this because the napkin gets all in the same place. Just trying to take the shine off and not taking all the details out. Naphtha smooths out all the imperfections. Now I'm not doing any more sculpting on this tonight, so it doesn't matter that I smooth this out now. I'm just trying to so I can take better pictures of it. See what that did? See how it takes all the trowel marks out of it? method really is amazing. It melts this stuff down really well. Now I'm rubbing out a little bit of trowel marks here, so it smooths it out a little bit better. See what that did to that? I didn't even use a brush. Usually I use a stiff brush, chemical brush, to let me put that on my hands. Hold on. Let me try and improve the lighting a little bit. Let's try to improve the lighting up just a touch. Let's see if I can get it up higher. Oh, not that one. Take off vision, yes, I will. I will give you some pictures. First, I gotta fix this. It's a little wet in the eye cut. Still not happy with this eye, but, and I'm getting very close on this side. A little bump out on this side is a little bit too rounded here. But I'll fix that. Yeah, Jojo, I was offered, I actually did some sound effects for a movie. I'm on IMDb, but it's under a movie called Lycan, and you got to find the right spelling because I'm not sure how he spelled the movie. I actually never, you look up Lycan, and my real name is in there as sound effects. I did sound effects for
this movie, and I think it's still in production. I think it's still in post production. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing with that. I don't know if it came out already. I don't know. You'd think that when you do something like that, that you would be, you know, on top of it as far as, are you, you know, I'm just not an egocentric kind of guy. I don't really care about doing movies or doing, you know, like whenever I do things like that, it's never about the ego, it's about the art. I follow my passion. It's like DJing. You know, a lot of guys get into it because they, and musicians, they get into it because the women go crazy for them. They da 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 da. Man, it's all about the music for me. I don't care about any of that other nonsense. I love music, and you know, it's all about the art when it comes to this stuff. If I could work for a team, great. You know, if I can't, then so be it. Who cares? You know what I mean? I'm just, I can't be the guy that, I'm 3 years of sculpting. That's all I've done, you know, and this is much more difficult to do as a, you know, doing a human face is what you're actually doing, and you're trying to replicate a certain look, and it's a difficult task. It's not an easy thing to do. Not many people can do it. And then I've seen people that are unbelievable. I saw a clay sculpture of Clint Eastwood that I'd swear that it had to, I would have sworn that that was actually a 3D print. That's how great this sculpture was. But I watched the guy sculpt it. He was absolutely stunning as far as how perfect every little detail of, and he did it in high speed to show you that he actually sculpted the whole thing. I don't know how long the guy worked on it. I don't know how, but my God, it looks so perfect. Just unreal. To be that accurate is just amazing. Am I at that level? Not even close. Not even close. But these guys, you know, there's people out there that can do this stuff. And, you know, are good at it, real good at it, amazingly good at it. And I'm a rookie. I'm just, you know, here I am 62 years old, and I'm just now starting to get into this. Well, 3 years ago I got into it. I was 59 when I started. 59. Yeah, I was 59 when I started it, this venture. And never too late, guys. Always remember that. Never too late. Never too late. So, you know, if you find something you really love to do and you want to try and tackle it, go for it, man. Don't ever wait around. Money is always an issue. Money is always, you know, going to be an issue for anybody and everybody. Very few people. It's funny, if you really think about it, people that have drive, that usually artists, that's why they call it starving artists, because they'll sink almost every penny they got into trying to keep their art going. It's never about making money for them. It's always about making art. And they end up starving because they spend everything they got on, whether it's the paints or the supplies or whatever it is. They really focus on that. But see, I don't do that. I'm not that kind of artist. I'm dedicated, but to an extent. I draw the line. And right now, I need silicone to do my Night Creeper, and the finances are tight right now, and tight for everybody the way this economy is. So, yeah, I might have to hold off. That's all, until I get the financing in place to do it. But yeah, it's constantly, you know, it's a constant battle for all of us. It really is to. Oh, oh man, yep. I'm getting tired, guys. I've had a long day, and I got to get up super early tomorrow morning. I got to get up at 6 a.m. Um, yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I'm going to give you a dead-on shot of it, and we'll see. We'll see how it looks with a dead-on view and with the right, better lighting. Yeah, that's good. That lighting there is good. Oh boy. Yes, I know it's Felix. I'm gonna look you up on the. I'm gonna take a couple pictures of this right now as soon as I get off the line. I'm actually gonna end the stream right now, guys. Say goodnight. I'll take a few pictures of this, send it to you, Felix, um, and work your magic. But I'm not altering this thing big time. I can tell you that right now. That won't happen again. That really screwed me up trying to get this right. And I got to get that little bump at the top of the head on the right side lowered significantly, and I got to bring those 2 points in together like it is on the other side. So keep that in mind. Don't critique those because they're all coming off. I'm gonna make this right. All right, let me take the pictures. Oh, my battery's dead. Oh, okay. But I'm going to end the stream. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you on the next video. Hit the like and hit the subscribe. And join the party. It's a fun ride.